Here's William MacAskill, one of the leaders of the effective altruism movement, and you might be asking, what is that? It's a research field and a practical community that tries to do the most good possible. So here are some of the statistics they'll throw at you to get you to grip onto the problem. 750 million people live on $2 or less a day. Millions of children die a year from what they call easily preventable diseases. Global warming is coming. 2/3 of the world's women have faced some form of sexual or physical abuse, and there's the possibility of nuclear disaster or maybe even destruction by artificial intelligence, or even worse, robots who cause a nuclear disaster by stealing our nukes. MacAskill argues that there's two obligations that all middle upper class people in rich countries have. And one of those is that these people should all help. Morally speaking, they're required to help. And secondly, they should do so effectively. And let's ask why. Well, one argument he gives is that when you look at all the main moral theories like utilitarianism, deontology, or virtue ethics, they all say that you, as a human, have an obligation to give. So, for example, the utilitarian holds that what's morally right should be that which maximizes the good for the most amount of people. And if for a small sacrifice to your pocketbook, you could significantly change lives or save lives, then utilitarianism requires that you do that. And similarly, virtue ethics would hold that generosity or benevolence or charity or giving in some form is a virtue, and by that standard, you should give. He does give some educated guesses or hints. You can give 10% of your money, 10 hours of your week to some sort of volunteer work. Or if you are able to, you can develop part of your life to developing research or talents that can make a difference in the world. For most people, this might sound like you're being asked to live a very minimal life, or maybe even the life of a monk. And MacAskill thinks that's not the case. First, something as small as 10% can save lives. And secondly, if you are a citizen in a rich country and you are either in the middle or upper class, you are already in the top 3% of the world. And lastly, this is what's interesting, donating and working in a rewarding job can actually lead you to be happy. All right, so we covered that first point, but why does MacAskill think that we should give effectively? Not only should you be donating, for example, but you should be doing it in an effective way. And this is an interesting point because a lot of people might already be doing it. Maybe they give to their local community, or maybe they give to a church. MacAskill's going to say, well, that's not necessarily good enough. The people you're giving to may not be using it the best possible way. But why should we believe that? And MacAskill gives us two sort of reasons. So imagine here first that you have two options. Option one, you give some $1,000, $2,000, $3,000, whatever it costs to go skydiving. The profits will go to some organization. Alternatively, you could donate that money and give people in poor countries mosquito nets, and that way significantly reduce the chances that they get a disease by mosquitoes. And MacAskill says it's so obvious in this sort of case that what you should do is buy those mosquito nets or donate to that company that buys the mosquito nets for people. The fact that you would like to go skydiving is completely morally irrelevant. All right, now you might say, recently my Chihuahua died and I loved her so much, and so I've decided that I'm going to donate to a local Chihuahua farm. And MacAskill's gonna say, oh, that's nice, but why Chihuahuas? And that's not meant to be like hating on Chihuahuas, but follow me. Why not all small dogs? Why not all dogs? Why not donate to pets in general? Why not help out animals in general? And now that we're at it, why not all sentient life in general? And so MacAskill thinks if you just fixate on some specific subgroup just because you relate to it in a personal way, then that's going to be arbitrary. All right, so that's MacAskill's argument, and I end here with a picture of a bodybuilder who turned into a dog lover and has a bunch of Chihuahuas.